and accurate payroll. When calling Payroll Service Solutions, you will never be put into a voicemail or go through a series of prompts to get to a person. All customer service representatives are extensively trained to handle all of your payroll needs, therefore saving you time. They value each and every one of their clients. No account is too small. Call Payroll Service Solutions today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for a no-obligation review of your payroll needs. That number again is 1-866-PAYEASY. Payroll Service Solutions.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Yardley, Pennsylvania.
To do a little racing, about 500 miles. Thoughts of embracing.
Good morning, everybody. Now it's time for Need for Speed. That's my last time was business. This time's all fun. So,
it's passion.
Oh yeah, it's a passion for me. This show, Need for Speed, that I bring to you every Thursday. This week is sponsored in part by Sage Chiropractic in Newtown. Good friends of mine, Mike Ganasso and Carrie Lewin. They've been in business for 18 years at their location on 123 Sycamore Street in Newtown. Their phone number is 215-497-0700. I will tell you, I've been up there a few times, not as much as I should, especially getting in and out of cars. But they do such a great job of chiropractic up there. Mike is like, he's the guy that's the actual chiropractor, and Carrie does like the Roku or Reiki or whatever it is they call it. But together, what a team, and it actually works. A lot of people think that Reiki is kind of like voodoo BS. Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Believe it or not, it's right on there. Give them a call, make an appointment. I'm going to make an appointment really, really soon, especially once I start getting in and out of the race car, because there's no doors on that, and I got to climb in and out of the window. So that's Sage Chiropractic in Newtown, 123 Sycamore Street, 215-497-0700, and tell them Fred from Need for Speed and Wide Open Wednesday gave you the number. So, all right, now we can talk about what's going on in the tracks all over the place. Last night we had our Wide Open Wednesday, Nick Leach and I, and it was fantastic. We had a bunch of great callers. We had started out with Earl Krause, who I hope calls because I got a couple questions for him from Wall Stadium Speedway. Then there was Paulie Hartwig, who was a young kid, young gun running, doing very well. Was involved in an accident last week, but he's doing fine. Always glad to hear that somebody's doing fine. Then we had Billy Pouch Jr., champion of this year's champion at Bridgeport Speedway, came in and gave us a nice 10-minute interview, and what a privilege to have him on there. And then to top it all off, we had one of our childhood heroes who actually won at New Egypt last week, Jimmy Horton. And that was a treat just to listen to him talk. And we just had such a good show last night. And we're talking about everything else that's going on. The motorsports show that's going on at Oaks in January. We're going to try to be a part of that. I'm going to put my car in there under the vintage car, the vintage racer. We're going to have try to set up a table for Wide Open Wednesday and Need for Speed, where Nick and Kate Brown and I are going to do interviews with drivers and do some videos and take some pictures and just maybe have WBCB involved. We're looking to do that. I got to get with Bill after I'm done here and see if we can work that all out, because that's a huge East Coast type of deal. That's a lot going on in racing, and we got a couple more weeks of probably another month worth of good racing. The Wall Stadium's going to have the Turkey Derby at the end of November. So that's cool. I'm probably going to go down on Friday, because Saturday, November 30th, is our Hot Rod Santa. So that's our live broadcast, WBCB live broadcast. And this year it's going to be all the same, not all the same. The same type of premise, where we have a lot of hot rods. We have Santa. We have the Disciples of Christ motorcycle ministries there with their motorcycles, and provided it's not raining. But they will be there with hot dogs, as they have been for the last few years, and it's always a big treat. And just having them there is a treat. Fairless Hills Fire Company, 31, right down the street from me on Hood Boulevard. They come up with a couple of fire trucks for the kids to get pictures on, and it's all due to the Toys for Tots. And last year we got 2,100 toys. We want to beat the record. I'm getting such good response on Hot Rod Santa already, and it's 2 months away. A lot of people want to be involved. A lot of people want to help out. The community is really coming around to this, and just bring a toy, and it's all, all this is in my good friend John Lesky. He's like the secret Santa of Fairless Hills. He passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately, but for a lot of years, he brought us a lot of toys, a lot of joy to kids around the community, because a lot of these toys stay local, which make it even sweeter, because there's a lot of deserving children around here that need to have a Christmas as well as everybody else. So I'm always proud to bring it. It's my 9th annual. And we're gonna open it up. Now we're gonna open up the phones to Earl. So, maybe.
Earl, are you there?
Hey, good morning.
Joe's having a brain fart.
I'm getting used to this system here. I'm not usually in this chair at this time.
It looks like a new system.
Sorry about that.
It's all good, Joe.
Great, but it works.
So what's happening? Good morning, Earl. It was good talking to you last night.
Yes, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Really, really outstanding.
Oh, good. So first, let's talk about what's going on at Wall this weekend.
Well, we got a great week coming up. Again, this is the second to last show of the regular season. In 2 weeks, we crown our point champions. But a very special night this coming Saturday. It's First Responders Night. All of our dedicated first responders are admitted absolutely free. And that includes, of course, our EMTs, firemen, police, even doctors, nurses, even lifeguards down at the Jersey Shore. If you're a first responder dedicated to serving your community like that, absolutely free admission into the track. And, it's going to be a great show. Modifieds will be back in action, along with our sportsman division. Factory Stocks, which had a 75-lap feature last week, they'll be running back to 25 laps. Fast Fours return, and limited late models. So, big show at Wall Stadium. It's going to be beautiful Saturday night at the Jersey Shore, so come on out and enjoy. Yeah,
I've been down to Wall twice this year, and I recommend it to anybody that's thinking about going down and catching a race.
Thank you.
And, you were a very gracious host, letting me wander the pits and all that stuff, but the whole show. It's not just a race down there; it's a whole experience at Wall Township. And I was thinking about this last night after we got off air. I'm like, you know what? There's racing, and then there's experiences of interacting with the drivers, like you guys let a lot of the fans do, and
yes.
A lot of stuff geared towards kids. There's arcade games. There's great food. I mean, fantastic food. So you can go there just for the food if you want. But
thank you. Yeah, that's one of the things.
Now you have my attention.
All right, yeah, Joe said whatever it takes. But I was thinking it really is an experience going down to Wall. So I highly recommend anybody looking to go to a race, do it. So.
Thank you. That's very nice to hear. And that's what we try to do there. We have, as you know, the way the Midway is set up at Wall Stadium. For those of you who have never been there, it's behind you actually come in through the ticket area, and you come right into the Midway. And it's almost like coming into a ballpark in the sense that you walk down into the grandstands, and that's what makes it neat. A lot of folks actually stand up along the Midway throughout the night. They'll go to the food stands, they'll just mill around the Midway area, and everything is right there below them. So it's a neat setup. And we often say when Wall Stadium was designed by the founding Nichol family in 1950, it was way ahead of its time, the way it was designed.
Yeah. Yep, it really was. I really enjoyed going down there, and I'll probably hit it more next year than I even
that's
did
great.
this year. It's on my plans.
Terrific. And heard you say you're going to look to come down for Turkey Derby at least on
Yep.
Friday.
On Friday, I'll probably head down, get my pre-Hot Rod Santa going on.
Okay, very good.
So what I wanted to talk to you about was the motorsports show.
Yes.
At Fort Washington or Oaks or whatever they're calling it today. I downloaded the application form. There are still spots for tables and my race car, because I'm planning on
Right.
bringing a race car. I just wanted to verify before, because I know it's coming up in a couple of months, and usually these things fill up quick. So if I'm still there, I'm fill it out and I'll send over to Lenny the whatever needs to be sent over today. But what I wanted to talk to you about is, what can somebody that goes to this show expect? I haven't been to this show. I see the pictures and I've heard about it before, but I've never really experienced. What does a fan that's maybe on the fence about racing, or even a racing fan, what do they expect at this show?
Well, actually, yeah, very neat. One of the things that makes the motorsports show great, it's a place in the middle of winter for everybody to get together, no matter what discipline of racing you're with, dirt track, asphalt, open cockpit, stock car. Everyone gets together. It's a huge show space with vintage cars and current-day race cars, again, from all different divisions. Many tracks have actual booths, displays giving out the schedules for the new season. We have, again, a variety of different drivers come there. They'll sign autographs. We don't have any confirmations yet, but usually the motorsports show has drivers from national circuit racing. You see a couple of special guests. Sometimes drivers, again, on the national circuit that are retired, like legends of the sport. We'll have them there as special guests. We have seminars for the racers, technical seminars, which I know you'd be interested in as well.
Right.
Where we have different manufacturers will come in, or race team shops will come in and give seminars on things like brakes, setups, body work for the cars, things of that nature. All the seminars are free, by the way. And when a fan comes into the show, there's a regular admission price, which is, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be this year, but it's very reasonably priced. Mm-hmm. And from there on, with the exception of the food, everything else is free. I mean, the autographs are free, the seminars are free, and you can spend as much time as you want throughout the day. There's also the Miss Motorsports pageant on Friday night, where you've probably seen in the pages of Area Auto Racing News, Miss Motorsports. She's at a lot of different tracks doing the trophy presentations. And there's an actual pageant on Friday night where young ladies, a lot of them representing different racetracks, enter the pageant. And one of them will be crowned Miss Motorsports for 2025, representing the show in Area Auto Racing News. There's also things like big wheel races for the kids. Just a lot of things going on throughout the Friday and Saturday. So and if you like vintage cars, which you do, there's so many vintage cars throughout the show. That's one of the things that we take pride in as well. Having the vintage cars there, and again, a lot of the drivers, like from, for example, the Reading Fairgrounds, the Flemington Speedway Historical Society, groups like that, Garden State Vintage Stock Car Club. They're all involved, and a lot of the former drivers are there meeting the fans. It's just a really, really neat event. And again, kind of the bottom line, in the middle of winter, middle of January, it's a chance for everybody to get together and talk racing, just have a really good time.
It sounds like I'm in. So I'll have my car up there, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the drivers that retired, whether because that's the ones I grew up on. So whoever's there, I'll be happy to see and talk to, interview.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, Nick, Kate, and I are planning to have a table, and Warren having a table up there. And so, like I said,
excellent.
so I finish up the paperwork today and send it over to Lenny.
Very good.
So so we're planning on doing that. We're going to be advertising as long as we can, our Wide Open Wednesday show here, our Wide Open Wednesday Facebook page, and we're actually having a YouTube channel geared around this. My friend Craig has just put a bid in on a studio. So
Excellent.
Yeah, so we can do a recording studio, so I can do some of this stuff over there. So a lot of things going on in the racing world here for us, and we're trying to keep the interest in the racing going on, and that's our big thing, and then count us in.
Oh, that's terrific. Very good. Are you looking to do a live remote with the show there?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to my sales rep, Bill Redner, here afterwards, see if they want to come up there and do that. We'll have to work out the logistics, because it's not that local, but it's local enough. I think that it would still pay for WBCB to broadcast us from up there. And
that's great.
Yeah,
it's a really nice facility too. Again, it's called the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. It's right there in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Right on. You can actually see it literally from the Pennsy Turnpike. So it's very, very easy to get to. And one of the neat things about the show is we have so many people visit as spectators from a wide area. New Jersey, of course, Pennsylvania. A lot of folks from New England make the trip down. We have people from Maryland and Delaware come up for the weekend. There's plenty of hotels all around the area. So, a lot of restaurants. It just makes for a really nice weekend. Again, right in the middle of winter. It's a great chance for the racers and fans to all get together. And what makes it neat, too, on that topic is that this is the opportunity for the fans to meet their favorite drivers in a whole different setting. A lot of times, they're at the racetrack, even after the races, when they go in the pit area. It's been a long night for the racers, and sometimes you don't get a chance to really interact with the drivers. But in a show like this, you're walking around, you see Jimmy Horton, you can say, hey, let's go sit down at the snack bar and have a beer or a cup of coffee. That's what makes it so cool. Yeah,
that's cool. I'm really looking forward to this. We'll be promoting it from here, from these chairs, and from my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel, and cool. So I'll be talking with you off the air, Earl.
Oh, very good. Look forward to it.
All right.
Keep up the great work. Again, the Wide Open Wednesday, what you did last night, that was so neat, ranging from young Paulie Hartwig to Billy Pouch Jr. to Jimmy Horton,
Yeah, 3 generations.
Covered it all last night.
Yep. So, cool.
All right.
All right, Earl.
Guys. Hey, good talking to you.
All right.
Take care, Earl.
All right.
All right, there goes Earl.
One thing I want to touch on. Do we have another caller?
Not yet, no.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure Nick was going to wait till after Earl called.
Okay.
But,
keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I was... Nick worked at Maple Grove Raceway last week because they had the NHRA Nationals. He worked up there because he works for the Koretsky family who owns Maple Grove. So they had him doing working the gate and stuff like that. Craig and I went up there to do some videos, and a lot going on up there. Actually, real quick, if anybody wants tickets to this week's weekend's big truck show, because it's a big, semi rigs, Nick's running the whole thing. We have 2 tickets to give away. So if anybody wants them, give us a call before I get off air. If not, I'll find one of my customers to get rid of them. But we had a great time at Maple Grove. Seen a lot of stuff.
Nick, hold on.
Yep. In fact, there's Nick on the other line, so we'll be talking Maple Grove here in 2 seconds. One.
Hey, Nick, you there?
Yes, I am here. How are you guys doing?
Thank goodness.
There's the man, Nick Leach.
I don't know about if I'm the man or not, but
You're the man.
we're a team, so it's about being a team. And I heard you were talking about giving away the tickets. We didn't give them away last night, so we got to try and give them away today. And thankful the Koretsky family gave us 2 tickets to the Keystone Trucking Nationals. If you don't call in and win them, you can go on the Wide Open Wednesday page and put your name in the hat. We'll draw a name from there. Just put yourself in as, I would like to win the tickets to the Keystone Trucking Nationals, and then me and Fred will pick a winner, and we'll let you know, and I'll tell you how to get the tickets when you come to Maple Grove.
Yeah, and I started to say what a great time we had at Maple Grove at the NHRA Nationals last weekend, and meeting people and stuff like that. And I met we laugh about it a little bit because I get so starstruck. Shirley Muldowney. I'm still like walking on cloud nine that I actually got to meet her after 50 years. It's like, she was a childhood, hero of mine. When I was in drag racing, I had a little bit of a crush on her because she's smoking hot. So
hot and talented.
He got to meet her, and then I got to meet somebody I was trying to meet for a couple of years. Jasmine Salinas is up and coming. Her father is a top fuel dragster guy. He got a little bit under the weather, so she took over the reins of her father's top fuel dragster. And what a sweetheart, really nice young lady, up and coming racer. I got to meet her. So me and Fred got to meet two of our people that we've been dying to meet. And if you ever get a chance to go to Maple Grove, no matter what the event is, it doesn't have to be a national event. The Koretsky family really works hard to get what needs to be done there. And it's just a whole different atmosphere, just a whole different vibe. Mm-hmm. And if you get a chance to go, like this week, I'll be behind the microphone. Jim, you're not. You tell me that I'm very enthusiastic. You haven't seen nothing. So if you come to the Keystone Trucking Nationals, you'll get to see the full tilt of Nick Leach behind the microphone and down on the track with a cordless mic and doing all kinds of stuff that I do. It's going to be a very fun weekend.
That's good. I wish I was going to be there, but I am going to be at the Savannah Bananas. My grandkids got me tickets to see that. And
well, there you go.
It's actually more for them, but yeah, it's good. It's going to be fun.
You got to do what you got to do. I'm trying to get my niece, Dina, to come to Maple Grove to work the camera for me so I could do some live stuff. I kind of screwed up when I went to meet Jasmine. I should have brought my camera with me and interviewed her because I would have had a lot of time to talk to her.
Yeah.
But now the end of the year stuff's coming, and like Earl said about the motorsports show, I'm telling you, once we go there and you do that, Fred, you're going to want to go back every year. It's a really neat show. It's one of the most popular motorsports shows around, and I try to go every year. I do live interviews from there when I work for New Egypt, and I'll be doing live interviews on Facebook Live at our stuff. So, yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah. I'm really looking forward to it already. And, yeah, what else are you going to do on the January 22nd? So.
Well, you gauge that when you go to that. You know the race season's not too far away. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
you hope for some decent weather. The main thing that I used to do with the guy that was a crew chief on my brother's race car, we would go down together. There's a Bob Evans on site. We'd have breakfast and we'd go into the show. It used to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now it's only Friday and Saturday. But you know when you go to that show, the race season ain't too far away, and you get to mingle with all the stars in cars and dirt racing. And there's drag racing people in there. There's die casts you can buy. If you're a collector of die casts, you can do all that stuff. There's so much to do there. And, it's a pretty neat deal. So we're going to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring my grandkids up there and let them run loose up there and try to get them more and more excited about racing. Took my grandson once last year to New Egypt. It was a little cold. And once the weather breaks and then, we'll get down to either Bridgeport or whatever and we'll take him down there and get him involved.
Well, once I get to know Uncle Nick and I get to take my golf cart out of hibernation, I'm something to like racing. Trust me. Go have a good time. So,
cool.
But Jim, as always.
Well, this is Joe. Jim's out.
Joe.
Yeah, it's Joe LeComte.
Yeah, Jim. Joe, where's Jim?
He had something he had to take care of, but he'll be back next week.
All right. Well, being just Joe, it's wide open Wednesday, not wide open. It's wide open Wednesday.
Yeah, we got to change that on the on the YouTube thing.
Got to change that on the ad, and I'm going to come in there early one day so we can do some voiceovers for Wide Open Wednesday. But Joe, I love the music you guys play on Thursdays. I'm an old country fan, so some of the stuff that you guys play brings back a lot of memories. So You guys do a wonderful job. I'm glad to be a part of WBCB. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, Nick. Well, I'm going to wrap this up here, and then I'll give you a call after.
You got it. I'll talk to you then.
All right.
See you,
All right,
Nick.
Joe, have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
All right.
Yeah, real
Here's
quick
Nick.
before we wrap up, I don't know what we got a couple minutes left, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what's going on at the rest of the tracks here. New Egypt's winding down. And this week there's going to have a full card. They've already decided their championship, but they got the modifieds, the 4-cylinders. I think vintage is going to be there. I don't have my car ready, so I'm not going to be there this weekend for other reasons. Bridgeport, they already wrapped up their championship, but there's still going to be a lot of good racing, and they're still filming that movie, The Pony, down there. So if you want to get involved, that'll probably come out next year. It's about a female dirt track racer. It's very, very interesting. And the female racing, we're going to touch on it on a Wide Open Wednesday. We're going to have a lady racers show where Kate Brown's in here because she was originally a lady racer too. And interview some things. I tried to get Shirley Muldowney to give me a couple spots for that, but I got too tongue-tied, so I couldn't get the words out because I was kind of like, I can't believe I'm just standing here with Shirley Muldowney. I mean, a lot of people are like, so? But
Well,
no,
legend.
to me it was growing up. It's like it would be like standing next to Richard Petty or Dale Earnhardt. I'd be like da 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 da. So, but
Yeah.
that's what Nick's for. Nick's got that.
It's okay to be starstruck because
Yeah.
you really respect what she
yeah.
achieved.
Yeah, she was the first top fuel drag racer, a female drag racer. So
So a lot of the races, New Egypt and the other place you mentioned, Bridgeport. So a lot of many drivers come from far to participate.
sometimes there's one guy, Mick D'Agostino, who won the New Egypt wingless sprint championship. He comes from Massachusetts.
Okay.
There's a few others. A lot of them come from Maryland.
Right.
You'll get them. It depends on the purse. If it's a worthwhile purse, they'll be there.
You know what the unique thing about racing is? I don't think people think of this a lot. They just think of cars going around a track, but there's the skill of racing. It's almost like the way a quarterback uses his brain, where you got to know when the need for speed around a certain part of the track, or to pull it back,
right,
or to get past someone,
or how the track conditions are. You have to think. There's a lot to think about. Like I ran the Kenny Wallace racing experience a couple of times. I always say that, but. I was me and maybe one or two other people out on the track, so I wasn't actually racing, but I like to go into it thinking that I'm racing because I want to see how the lines are, which way the best one. And, a couple times turn one, because it was before a race, it was like an empty weekend, so they didn't really prep the track. Like turn one, the first time I went down there, I hit the hole because I like to go low. I hit the hole and I was like, whoa, no more of that. So I had to run it up and I had to run the next line up. But, there's a lot of thinking in there. And, I couldn't imagine doing it with 30 other guys, out there thinking the same thing. So yeah, there is a hell of a lot of skill that goes along with these, a lot of thinking, and the cream really does rise to the top.
and that builds over years of doing it.
Yes,
Right?
you got it. Yeah, you figure out, and then you got to contend with okay, I can go low, but I know I'll use names. Ryan Godown's going to drop on the third, entering the third turn because that's what he always does. I don't know if he does. I'm just saying that, but there's personalities and track driving skills and tendencies that you have to contend with. So yeah, I'll have a driver come on and talk about that more than I can. But
knowing when you can get by someone and you can't, right?
But yeah, know when to back off, knowing when not to put them in the wall, which you never want to do. But
have you ever seen scuffles on that circuit?
Yeah. Usually it's just it's just a bunch of barking.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, they're riding in close proximity. I don't. Some of the NASCAR stuff is kind of scripted.
You think it is?
I think they're a bunch of whiners anymore. But the dirt track guys, it's a close proximity. You're rubbing rails. You're running tires. You're doing all kinds of stuff. And somebody may think that you did something wrong when you didn't, or just construe a move that that misconstrue a move, and then there's some tensions. But no, usually if it's anything, there's a mutual respect with a lot of the drivers down there.
What are the purses like at New Egypt or Bridgeport?
Depending on the cards, depending on the event itself. I know that at the end of October they have Legends of the Fall, memory to John Schmedlin. That's coming up. I think that's a $10,000 purse or $7,000, which is really, really good. Most of the time, you're catching $3,000, maybe $3,500.
Still nice piece.
It's a nice piece, but there's a lot going into it on the business side of the cars. There's a lot of prep on the cars. There's, it's like if you wreck, the one wreck may cost you $5,000.
Right.
I told my buddy when I was going to buy a car a couple of years ago. He's like, "Oh, we'll get a car. It's like $10,000." I said, "It's not the first $10,000. It's the $10,000 every week after that."
Right.
But mine's just an exhibition car, so I don't expect any of that.
Very good. Okay, I guess you'll be back next week.
I will be back next week.
And it's called
Wide Open Wednesday.
Okay.
So we'll have to fix that, and then we have Need for Speed on Thursday.
All right, Fred, thanks for stopping by.
All right, Joe, good talking with you this
All right,
weekend.
we have AP News coming up next.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Israel's defense minister is telling the military they must have courage, determination, and perseverance in what he calls the start of a new phase in the war in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Hezbollah is promising special punishment after 2 days of attacks that exploded its pagers and walkie-talkies. So what does the U.S. think? White House National Security spokesman John Kirby on the Israel-Hamas war.
All I can tell you is we're still putting our shoulder to the wheel to get the hostages home and get a ceasefire in place, as daunting as that is today. And we are still involved in intensive diplomacy to try to prevent a second front from opening up on that border with Lebanon.
Now what? That's the question after the House said no to Speaker Mike Johnson's controversial bill last night. The AP's Haya Penjwani.
On this vote, the yeas are 202, the nays are 220, 2 voting present. The bill is not passed.
The legislation that failed would have linked temporary government funding with a mandate that states require proof of citizenship when people register to vote. Democrats overwhelmingly opposed the measure. Earlier in the day, Johnson spoke to reporters advocating in favor of the bill.
We're going to do the right thing. We're going to responsibly fund the government, and we're going to stop the non-citizens voting in elections.
Lawmakers need to approve a stopgap measure to prevent a partial shutdown when the new fiscal year begins October 1st. Haya Penjwani, Washington.
Today, Vice President Harris joins a live stream with Oprah Winfrey. Donald Trump will address a gathering of the Israeli-American Council. The number of Americans on unemployment is now the fewest since early June. New numbers out this morning. 2 correctional officers were stabbed by inmates at a maximum security prison in Massachusetts last night. 3 others injured as they responded. No details on the injuries. Gas is $3.22 a gallon this morning, up a penny since yesterday. This is AP News.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem